Okay, we're here at the door alarm cell to watch a demonstration how to assemble a 4300 vertical pump. First, Knowledge is going to check the outbound to make sure all the parts correct. Checking the pedestal to make sure it's right. The impeller to make sure it's the right impeller. Gonna check the shaft to make sure it's correct. Coupling. Then he's gonna make sure the casing is clean. After doing that, he's gonna get the gasket, install it inside the casing. Then he's gonna get the impeller with the shaft. Gonna install the shaft into the impeller. Then he's gonna put the key. Then he's gonna get the impeller screw and washer. And he's gonna insert the key properly. Beneath the washer. Now he's gonna tighten. After tightening the shaft with the impeller, he's gonna install it in the casing. After doing that, gonna get the bushing, make sure it's the correct one. Then he's gonna get a bushing pounder. He's coming around now to install the bushing inside the pedestal. Now what he's doing is hammering the bushing inside the pedestal. After doing that, he's gonna put the pedestal over the shaft. Make sure the hole is facing the discharge. To that, he's gonna get the screws. Checking again to make sure it's the right lock washer. Then he's checking again to make sure it's the right and proper screws for this job. Now he's installing the screws. Now after installing the screws, Knowledge is now going to tighten the screws in sequence. Now Knowledge is tightening the screws. Making sure the screws are tight properly. Then he's gonna go around again. Now all screws are tightened. Now let's just gonna check to make sure the cover seal is correct. Checking the part number. It's correct. Now he's gonna get the seal. He's gonna check the seal if it's also correct. Now he's opening the box. Now we're going to open the stationary side of the seal. And insert it in the cover seal. Now he's going to put it over the shaft inside the pedestal. He's going to check the part number to make sure you get the proper screws and washer. As you can see, he placed the washer onto the cover seal. Now he's going to put the screws. After putting the screws, Nalish is going to tighten the bolts in sequence again. After doing that, now he's going to put the rotated side on. Now he's loosening the set screw because I think it's pushing out at one side. After doing that, he's going to put some lube in the O-ring in the inside part of the rotating seal. After doing that, he's going to clean off the shaft a little and place the rotated part over the shaft and push down. After doing that, he's going to check the outbound to make sure you have the proper screws on the collar that goes with the shaft. Then he's going to install it on the top of the shaft. Then he's going to tighten it. After doing that, he's going to check the motor to make sure the motor is correct. Then he's going to use his chain, lift the motor to get it up on the table. After doing that, he's going to rest it on top of the table. He's going to get a clean cloth, and then he's going to clean the shaft of the motor. What he's doing now, he's going to remove the key that's inside the motor shaft and the tape that surrounds the shaft. After moving the tape, he's going to remove the key. And he's going to do another clean. So doing that, he's going to get the collar. Now he's checking the order to see what kind of set screws that goes with the collar. He's going to insert the set screws in the collar. After inserting the set screws, he's going to tighten the set screws until it's flush with the collar. After you do that, it's going to check the order again to make sure the coupling is correct. Then he's going to get half of the coupling and then he's going to use it to measure the length of the shaft that where he got to tighten the collar. So what Nali's doing now is he's measuring the length with the coupling to make sure it's in the correct position. Now he's tightening. After tightening all set screws, now he's gonna install the motor onto the pump. So what he's doing now is turning the motor to the proper mounting direction. Now he's checking the order to get the screws to mount the motor onto the pump. After putting all 4 bolts, he's going to tighten the motor onto the pump in sequence again. After tightening the bolt, Nalich is gonna get the plug for the casing. Then he's gonna put on the pipe door. After putting the plug with the pipe door, he's gonna tighten. After putting the pipe plug, he's gonna check the order to make sure the keys that he's gonna insert in both shafts is correct. So he's putting the key one at the bottom and the other key at the top. After doing that, Nalich is going to put the coupling onto the top collar, and then he's going to lift the bottom shaft. After doing that, he's going to put the other side of the coupling on. Then he's going to check the shop order again to make sure the screws that he's going to insert in the coupling is correct. After putting the screw in the coupling, Nalich is going to tighten to make sure both sides of the coupling is equal. Now he's checking to see if it's equal. Then he's going to put the rest of the screws. Then he's going to tighten the rest of the screws now. Now he's checking to make sure the shaft turned properly. After doing that, now he's going to get the air hose and he's going to blow any particles from underneath the seal. Then he's going to bring down the rotated part of the seal and then tighten the set screw. After tightening the set screw, Nalich is going to remove the clip that's inside the rotated part of the seal. Then he's going to check to make sure it's spin correctly. Now after doing that, now Nalich is going to get all the parts for the flush line. After getting the parts of the flush line, now he's putting on T-tape. To make sure that the line does not leak. After putting the T-tape, he's going to assemble the flush line now. He's going to put the straight connector inside the cover seal. Okay, he's putting the straight connector inside the cover seal and he's going to tighten. After putting the straight connector, he's going to get the other side, which is the nipple, the T, the vent air, and another straight connector. Now he's installing both of them. After doing that, he's going to put it in the flush line hole and then tighten. After doing that, now he's putting the straight connector into the T and then tighten. Now let's put in the vent air. After installing everything together, we're gonna get the tubing now. Now he's cutting the tubing. After cutting the tubing, he's going to get a tubing bender to make sure he put an angle onto the tubing. After bending the tubing, he's going to make sure it's nice and curved. Then he's going to cut off the extra that he have left over. Now he's going to install the tubing inside the straight connector. And into cover seal. Then he's going to tighten both ends. Then after doing that, Nalich is going to check his shop order and get the nameplate. Make sure the nameplate is correct. And then he's going to install the nameplate onto the casing. What he's doing now is drill a hole into the casing. Now he's putting the set screw. And he's gonna just tap it a little bit. Now he's putting the last screw drive. Now that's the finished product. This pump is ready for the customer. Thank you and have a nice day.